the owner's going to watch this crap because the fans have had it. We deserve better. You're worried more about your stadium than you are your football team. That's the perception, Jimmy. And you allow these people seen anything like it. Kids that play Madden could have done a better job. Truly, that's not hyperbole. It's a joke.
Rizzo is no longer reserved. He is angrily criticizing the Cleveland Browns ownership for their misplaced priorities. Put the gleaming new stadium they are attempting to construct to improve the fan experience out of your mind. The squad and coaching staff are the true issues in Rizzo's opinion. To turn this club around, he is pleading with the Browns ownership to focus entirely on the players who are actually on the pitch, working and exerting themselves. He is insisting that they address the underlying cause of the difficulties rather than concentrating on the surface. This is Rizzo's unvarnished opinion. Nobody is exempt. Let's examine his remarks and the reasons they are upending the Cleveland sports landscape.
It's a joke. This franchise has become a joke. And I'm sick of it.
Rizzo continued by outlining how the current circumstances have made the entire franchise into a farce. He emphasized that the team is now vulnerable because no one is taking the club seriously due to the ownership's lack of care. According to Rizzo, clubs eventually start to fail when owners don't make the necessary investments in the expansion and improvement of their teams. He emphasized that the Browns are experiencing exactly this neglect, and that if nothing changes, the team will eventually collapse under its own weight. Without significant action, the future appears uncertain. Rizzo makes a valid point, particularly in light of the franchise's internal disconnection. Stefanski was noticeably irritated after the Steelers game and attacked Dillon Gabriel, praising his effort in the defeat. He acknowledged that Gabriel hasn't been carrying out plays well and that the squad won't be able to reduce turnovers unless they sign a player like Shedeur Sanders. Stefanski's remarks highlight a more serious problem with the company, where important leaders appear to be blaming one another rather than cooperating to find answers. The misalignment is getting more noticeable.
Do it on the road versus a good football team, and we got to get it fixed because, before you start winning, you got to stop losing. We're doing some things right now that are preventing us from winning, so we'll get it fixed. With that, I'll take any questions. Well, yeah, I don't think it's as simple as that.
Tommy Ree, Browns offensive coordinator, stood up for Dillon Gabriel despite Stefanski's annoyance. Ree underlined that it is only right to give Gabriel the chance to lead since he has been there since the beginning of OTAs and earned the starting position. Shedeur Sanders, who has been as committed and has attended every training session, appears to have been overlooked by Ree in making this argument. Despite his dedication, it's evident that Sanders isn't getting the same opportunities, most likely because the coaching staff doesn't like him. This calls into doubt the team's decision-making procedure even more.
Dave's working hard to get right and to get himself in position to have an opportunity to play. And he's played this game for a long time. He's been in this offense for a long time. So mentally, he's in the right place. So just got to continue to have him.
Thinking that Dillon Gabriel would benefit from a strong run game, Tommy Rees first planned the offense around it. But rather than addressing Dillon's flaws, Rees sidestepped the topic when asked about Gabriel's difficulties in that area, placing the responsibility on the offensive players and wide receivers. This action appeared to be an effort to avoid addressing Gabriel's problems, even though his performance has been below par. It begs the question of why Rees is still supporting Gabriel as the starter, particularly because Shedeur Sanders, who has demonstrated an equivalent level of commitment, isn't receiving the same chance to establish himself.
Turns, throughout series, whether you're getting behind the sticks or the circumstances of the game. So, certainly we had run the ball pretty effectively for a couple weeks, and it's something that we want to make sure that we're always giving ourselves a chance to do. Q had a couple really efficient weeks running it. Our line was blocking well. Our tight ends were doing a nice job. Receivers competing in the game. So, look to make sure that we always have the ability to run the ball for 4 quarters, and staying in the game is part of that critically as well.
As things continue to develop, the players are becoming increasingly frustrated, especially with Tommy Rees's attacking approach. Myles Garrett has openly attacked head coach Stefanski, saying he is disappointed with the squad's continuous problems and believes Stefanski has failed to get Shedeur Sanders on the team. Evidently frustrated, Garrett criticized the play calling, particularly with Dillon Gabriel starting as quarterback, and expressed how exhausting it is to suffer the same defeats every week. Many people are beginning to question whether Stefanski's tenure with the Browns is coming to an end due to the increasing friction.
Yeah, it's frustrating. To lose the same way every time, it's frustrating as hell.
Myles Garrett went into further detail about his dissatisfaction, emphasizing how the Browns keep losing in the same way with no discernible improvements. He emphasized that the defensive line always has the upper hand and gives the quarterback little opportunity. Dillon Gabriel's play was criticized by Garrett, who pointed out that he appeared to make throws more out of presumption than knowledge, anticipating receivers to be in spots they never were. This was interpreted as a direct critique of Stefanski's attacking strategy, as well as Gabriel's performance. Stefanski's future with the Browns is in doubt if he can't retake control, as evidenced by the mounting animosity in the locker room.
Stop us to the D-line front. They got in chunk formation. They chipped. He got the ball out, as quick as possible. And there weren't a lot of situations in which, even if I was running, that I could have got there. So,
as players start to boldly express their ideas in the locker room, Tommy Rees's appraisal is becoming less credible. When Shedeur Sanders criticized Stefanski for mishandling the quarterback problem, Judy publicly supported him. Judy asked why Sanders hasn't been assigned to the starting position, particularly since Joe Flacco is no longer with the team. His comments are indicative of the growing annoyance among players, who are growing more perplexed and angry by Sanders' lack of opportunity to take the offensive lead. The franchise is obviously seeking accountability and reform at the quarterback position.
I won't say a waste of time, I don't know what that was, a better chance of winning games. So, of course, I wish all those plays connected, it's football. It's not going to be perfect all the time.
No clear direction or cohesive vision is coming from the top down, and the Cleveland Browns are obviously in disarray. The offensive coordinator, Tommy Rees, has been steadfast in his strategy, but the reality on the field doesn't match his rhetoric. He is attempting to dismiss any criticism directed at other players while defending Dillon Gabriel's performance. However, there is no denying the mounting discontent with his offensive plan. Coach Stefanski, who ought to be the one uniting everything, is stuck in a vicious circle of frustration and is unable to make the required changes to help the squad turn things around. One of the team's most outspoken leaders, Myles Garrett, has publicly criticized Dillon Gabriel's performance, pointing out the offensive play calling as well as the lack of adjustments. Judy has now made it apparent that there is a lot of support for Shedeur Sanders and asked why he isn't being given a genuine opportunity to spearhead the attack. This disconnect between the players and the coaching staff only serves to exacerbate the team's feeling of dysfunction. There is nothing more confusing than the Browns' predicament. Players are demanding change, coaches are saying one thing, and the team as a whole appears to be at a crossroads. The uncertainty and frustration increase with each game that goes by. If the squad want to turn things around, they desperately need leadership, cohesion, and a unified plan. The Browns' future appears to be more uncertain than ever right now. Furthermore, this organization may have much more difficult obstacles in the future if nothing changes quickly. How do you feel about the way things are going with the Browns? Is it time to give Shedeur Sanders a serious chance? Or do you think Stefanski and Ree are making the correct decisions with their quarterback situation? How much of the team's problems are the players' fault, and how much is the coaching staff's? Is there a more serious problem within the organization, Or is it just a misalignment? What do you believe the Browns need to do to improve their situation, given the escalating tensions and the players' outspoken opinions? Your opinions would be greatly appreciated. Please leave a remark below.